Hi guys, welcome to another tactical video. This one's going to be about one of our HQ choices for Sisters of Battle, Uriah Jacobus. Uriah Jacobus is basically a super priest, so in that he does everything a normal priest can and better. He did take fairly heavy nerf in the new codex, mainly in that he used to cost 10 points less, and he used to have better stats in ballistic skill, weapon skill. Those were all dropped, so he's fairly average, but he's got good stats for a priest, and he's still got 3 wounds. He has a nice 4-up invulnerable save, so it's pretty good. This model in particular is obviously not the official one. This is an advanced hero quest wizard that I use as Uriah Jacobus. So there we go. He's what serves in my army. Uriah Jacobus has grenades. He has a shotgun, which is effectively an AP4 Stormbolter. He has basic weapons. He's not really designed for killing. What he is a force multiplier, so he really buffs your army and units. For example, as a priest, he has the full set of war hymns, but he's got a leadership of 10, so it's much easier to get them off. Any unit with acts of faith he is with, he gives them a whole extra one for free. So that is in addition to any you get from a Simulacrum Imperialis. So you could effectively have 3 acts of faith for a single unit. The other good thing is that the unit doesn't even need to test for his. You can automatically pass it, so it's good to have that reliability there. In addition, he, as a priest, he obviously gives you hatred, so you get to reroll those hits on the charge, and you are fearless. And he also has a fearless bubble where anyone within 12 inches, any unit within 12 inches of him is fearless. And also they get counterattack, which obviously got slightly better in 7th edition because now you don't need to take a leadership test. So it's always pretty good. Basically, he's going to make a unit pretty hard. The other good thing is that if he is your warlord, he automatically gets a warlord trait from the Sisters of Battle because it's a special character. And I would argue that his warlord trait is the best one in the Sisters of Battle Codex, and that is that any unit with acts of faith, it makes their invulnerable save a 5-up instead of a 6-up, which is pretty good because, you know, it's literally doubling their effectiveness against anything that ignores armor. This is very good for units like Repentia because it's literally doubling their save, and obviously they get all the close combat benefits from him. So as a result, he's actually a good choice of warlord for Sisters of Battle because there's so many ways you could use him. He is pretty much a defensive character all the same. You don't really want to send him off alone, but so long as he's buried in a unit, then he's actually quite survivable with Lookout Sarah and a 4-up invulnerable save, especially if you get him into close combat where he's got those war hymns working in his favour. He's very, very hard to shift. I've had this guy go up against Belial and win a couple of times. I've had him go up against some really nasty HQs and survive the entire turn, just literally tank everything for a full turn, so he's pretty handy. Of course, as I say, he took a few nerfs. He's not quite as good at shooting as he used to be. It doesn't really matter because that was never his particular strong point anyway, and he always was a close combat multiplier basically. He used to give a unit feel no pain, and that's gone, but counterattack almost makes up for it, so it's not too bad. So it's not too bad really. The best place to put him is in a big killy squad, so either a full squad of Repentia as I mentioned, or even like a huge blob squad of Battle Sisters, giving them all that 5-up invulnerable, a hell of a lot of shooting, and of course the war hymns and the extracts of faith. It's actually a pretty nasty unit. It keeps him alive, so it's denying the Slay the Warlord point or points if you're playing Maelstrom, because there's a good chance you get that D3 one. So yeah, think about what you're putting in. Remember, he is just a guy on foot at the end of the day, so putting him in a transport's not a bad idea if you don't have particularly big units. If you have nothing but smaller units, I would consider using a different HQ as your warlord. However, otherwise he is probably the best choice. He works out much more useful than a Canoness for cheaper points, and even Celestine, even though she's much more of a beat stick. This guy will add a lot more to your army. That's effectively it, really, for Uriah. There's no real bad way you can use him other than just sending off alone. Remember that he can hop out of units and join other units, so if the unit he's in is suffering, there is nothing stopping him just leaping out and jumping into another unit. Remember, he also can buff allies incredibly well with his war hymns. He's literally the best priest in the game, basically. So, if you haven't used him yet, give it a go. I think most people have at least tried him, but let's be comprehensive and cover them all. So hopefully this video is useful. If you liked it, remember to click like, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment or ask any questions. Thanks for watching.